Welcome back to my Let's Play for Pokemon Gold, my Mono Dark run. Yeah, I figured I'd bust out my most, normal hat of the Pokemon bunch, the one with the Pokeball on it, and the Charmanders and stuff like that on the rim there. Of course, I'd never really wear this in public either, since I usually don't wear hats, but if there was a hat I was gonna wear in public, this would probably be the most, likely candidate. Because I really want to go in public, with the Pikachu hat. Okay. Thought I'd do it. This would be so much easier if I brought someone with Flash. But I never pick it up, so I'm like forced to navigate in the dark. Okay. This should be relatively okay. We're almost done here, at least. And yeah, I brought along some X specials. The plan's basically to try and get one off, and then try and sweep his team while Sunny Day's up. The real problem's probably end up being Snorlax. As long as Sunny Day's up, we can take care of Blastoise and stuff with a single shot of Solar Beam, pretty much guaranteed. Blastoise just isn't bulky enough to survive, most of what I can dish out. So I'm not worried about that. It's Snorlax that scares me, because it's a freaking beast, man. Snorlax is not to be screwed with. It's probably the strongest Pokemon in Generation 2, bar none. It has no real rivals, or counters. It's just you can check it by roaring out and trying to stop it from setting itself up, because if it gets to set itself up, it'll basically just roll over your team if you have no way to force it out again. Yeah. That's why Snorlax got the coveted double S ranking. It was basically, Uber this generation. Oh, I figured for sure he'd go with Charm, but I guess he pegged me for a special attacker. Nope. He just was pulling off random moves, I guess. Oh well. Time for some roasted rodent. Well, I'll give you credit, you got it hidden before you died horribly. Man, this is why you should pack Thunderbolt and not Thunder. Because Thunderbolt's a lot more accurate. I mean, sure, if Pikachu could do a Rain Dance, then you can get away with Thunder. Of course, you'd have to do a setup turn, which, let's face it, Pikachu's probably not going to survive that if your opponent's packing anything that can, take it out in one hit, which is most things. There's just no getting around that. Okay, time for a Solar Beam. Of course, it figures, the first thing he throws out to try and counter me after Pikachu's Blastoise. I mean, it does have type advantage, it's just, with the power of Solar Beam at my side, it's just hard for it to stand up to me. Well, let's see, what's it gonna be next? Is it gonna be Snorlax? No, it's Espeon. Okay, that's a pick I don't get at all, because Espeon has no tactical advantages here. It's just royally screwed. I mean, he can't hit me with Psychic, so what's he gonna do? Sit there and try and spam some sort of status ailment on me or something? To try and stop me? I mean, I guess it could do that, but it'd have to survive Crunch first, and Espeon's got no real defense. It's got raw power. It's basically, the Eevee version of Kadabra. Sad part is this means the sunlight's gonna fade on my second shot. And I'm guessing the first thing it's gonna do is set up Amnesia. And then probably go into rest. Which means I'm gonna have to try and take it down without having, the added boost of sunlight here. Or did I just crit it? Nope. Guess not. Oh, you're not gonna set up a defensive buff there, or heal it? I guess you figured I can rest my Snorlax. But with that much damage on, I'm gonna kill you before you can get your, rest in. Well, now the question is, do I use fire attacks on this thing, or do I go with Crunch? We'll Crunch it. I mean, Flamethrower might honestly do more damage, because I have, item to up my fire attacks, but, we'll let Charizard try and set up Sunny Day if it wants to. I won't waste a turn on it, leave me vulnerable. Well, this is basically over. Because at this point, you know, he's gonna have to drop Venusaur, and it's got no answer to anything I can dish out. I don't even need an enhanced flamethrower at this point. We'll see, I guess. I mean, if it does survive, you know, I guess I'll have to bust out a full restore. Because I'm guessing if it does anything to me, it's probably gonna go for sleep, most likely. That'd be my go-to option against a fire type usually. Try and, you know, hit with status, then take it out while, you know, it can't fight back. And cross my fingers and pray it doesn't wake up, you know, while I'm trying to knock it out. Well, that takes care of Red. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do after this one. I mean, technically I do a mono steel run, but I'm not really feeling that idea because most of the steel types I could use would have to be fully evolved Pokemon. Because let's face it, we saw what happened with Umbreon, you know, this run. Because I didn't start off with an Umbreon to begin with, I never got one at all because I never spent enough time making Eevee happy enough to evolve. With all the walking I did, it still wasn't going to be ready until after the Elite Four, basically. So it basically got put on a shelf and pushed aside and forgotten about. Though it probably didn't help that Umbreon's best tactic is basically, you know, spam Confuse Ray and stuff like that, or go with Confuse Ray Headbutt, you know, Toxic. Basically dirty tactics to stall out an opponent and just be as annoying as possible. So, yeah. Umbreon's got very, limited attacking options, to say the least. Because it's meant to be more of a defensive Pokemon. Which means we ended up basically just relying on Houndoom by the end of it. Of course, Murkrow doesn't do too bad as an attacker. It's not as good, but it's alright. I mean, it's basically built to try and be a mixed attacker, so it works out okay-ish. By the time I got to like level 50, I could easily use it to take down Bruno. But the only thing that could stand up to me at all at that point was his Onix, because it could take one feint attack still, so I was getting close to being able to level Murkrow up enough where it actually could be a reasonable threat against most of the Elite Four. Well, I kind of dropped Sneasel while I was doing the Elite Four grinds. It's like, I don't need it, I'll just have, you know, Houndoom do Crunch and move on that way. So yeah, most likely I'm going to do an Unown run next. Which is going to be a royal pain in the butt. Because Unown is terrible. But I'll leave starting that for later. If I start tonight. That may be something to start on, work on sometime next week or tomorrow, I'm not sure. Depends on when I feel like assigning myself my doom there. Till next time then. See ya.